Tapas Svadhyaya Ishvarapranidhanani Kriya Yoga.
This Yoga Sutra talks about how to start the journey of yoga. It says that we should practice 3 things: self-discipline, which means doing what is right even when it's hard; studying sacred text, which helps us learn and grow spiritually; surrendering means trusting in something bigger than ourselves. By following these steps, we can begin our path to becoming better and more balanced people.
Samadhi bhavanarthak kleshatanu karanarthascha.
This Yoga Sutra explains the purpose of practicing yoga. It says that by following the path of yoga, we can reduce our suffering and clear our mind. This helps us see things as they truly are. Yoga practice helps us remove the obstacles that cause us pain or confusion. These obstacles might be our fears, worries, or misunderstandings. By overcoming these, we can find peace and happiness. In short, yoga is a way to clean our mind and heart so we can live a better, happier life free from unnecessary problems.
Avidyasmitaragadveshabhiniveshav pancha kleshah.
This Yoga Sutra talks about the obstacles that block our path to happiness and peace. It says there are 5 main obstacles called Kleshas that cause us problems in life. The first one, ignorance, not seeing things as they really are. Second, ego, thinking too much about ourselves and feeling separate from others. Third, attachment, clinging to things we like too much. Fourth, aversion, pushing away things we don't like. The last, fear of death, being afraid of losing our life or what we have. These obstacles are the roots of our pain and suffering. Yoga helps us recognize and overcome them, leading to a clearer mind and a more powerful life.
Avidyakshetramuttaresham prasuptatanu-vicchinnodaranam.
This Yoga Sutra explains how the obstacles or the kleshas we face are connected. It says that ignorance is the root cause of all the other obstacles. When we don't understand things clearly, we start to develop a strong sense of self or ego, become attached to things we like and avoid things we dislike, while fear of losing what we have. Ignorance makes us see the world in a way that creates problems and sufferings. The other obstacles grow out of these misunderstandings. Yoga helps us correct this ignorance so we can reduce these obstacles and live a more peaceful life.
Anitya shuchi dukkhanatmasu nitya shuchi sukhatmakyatiravidya.
This Yoga Sutra talks about what ignorance really means. It explains that ignorance is when we confuse what is temporary with what is permanent, and when we mistake the impure for the pure, the painful for the pleasurable, and the non-self for the self. In simpler terms, ignorance is when we see things the wrong way, thinking that things that change or don't last are the most important. This wrong understanding leads us to make choices that cause us pain and suffering. Yoga helps us clear up this confusion so we can see the truth and make better choices that lead to a happier, more peaceful life.
Drigdarshana shaktyurikatmatevasmita.
This sutra explains the idea of asmita, which means ego or the sense of I. It says that ego happens when we confuse the true self, the one who sees, with the mind and body, what is seen. In simple terms, it's like thinking that our thoughts, feelings, and body are who we really are, instead of recognizing that we are something deeper inside. This mix-up creates a strong sense of me and mine, which can lead to problems like selfishness or feeling separate from others. Yoga helps us realize that we are more than just our thoughts and body, which leads to a more peaceful and connected life.
Sukhanushayi ragaha.
This sutra talks about raga, which means attachment. It explains that attachment is the desire or craving for things that make us feel good. When we experience pleasure or happiness, we naturally want more of it, and this creates attachment. This desire for more can cause problems because we might feel upset or unhappy when we don't get what we want. Yoga teaches us to recognize and manage our attachments so that we don't become too dependent on external things for our happiness. Instead, we learn to find peace within ourselves.
Dukhanushayī dveshah.
This sutra explains dvesha, which means aversion or dislike. It says that aversion is the strong feeling of wanting to avoid or push away things that causes pain or discomfort. When we experience something unpleasant, we develop a dislike for it and try to stay away from it in the future. This reaction can lead to problems because it makes us focus too much on avoiding discomfort, which can limit our experiences and cause unnecessary stress. Yoga helps us manage these feelings of aversion so that we can approach life with more balance and less fear, finding peace even in challenging situations.
Swarasavahi vidushopi tatha rudhobhiniveshah.
This verse explains that the fear of death, known as abhinivesha, is a natural feeling that even wise people experience. Here's what it means: clinging to life. Everyone, even those who understand life deeply, has a natural desire to stay alive, flowing by its own force. This fear of losing life is strong and seems to happen automatically. Even though this fear is natural, practicing yoga helps us understand and manage it better, allowing us to live more peacefully without being controlled by it.
Te pratiprasavaheya sukshmaha.
This verse explains how to deal with the subtle obstacles in our mind, like hidden fears or desires. Here's what it means: subtle thoughts. These are tiny, deep rooted thoughts that we might not even notice but can still affect us. Tracing them back. To get rid of these thoughts, we need to understand where they come from. Yoga teaches us to dig deep into our minds, find the source of these thoughts, and remove them. This helps us clear our minds and stay peaceful.
Dhyana heyastadvrittayah.
This verse explains how meditation can help us manage and remove unwanted thoughts and feelings. Here's what it means: mental patterns. These are the thoughts, emotions, and habits that keep repeating in our minds, eliminated through meditation. By practicing meditation, we can calm these patterns and eventually let go of them. Meditation helps us gain control over our mind, allowing us to reduce distractions and negative thoughts, leading to a clearer, more peaceful mind.
Kleshamulah karmashayo drishta-drishta-janma vedaniyah.
This verse explains how our actions are connected to our inner obstacles and how they affect us. Here's what it means: root of actions. Our actions come from deep-seated obstacles like ignorance, ego, and desires, seen and unseen lives. The results of these actions can affect us in our current life and possibly in future lives. Yoga teaches us to understand these obstacles and actions so that we can create better outcomes for ourselves, reducing suffering and leading a more peaceful life.
Sati mule tadvipako jatyayurbhogah.
This verse explains that as long as the root causes of our actions like desires and ignorance remain, they will affect our lives. Here's what it means: the root. This refers to the deep-seated causes of our actions, such as our inner obstacles or kleshas, bear fruit. These roots will influence our birth, how long we live, and the experience we go through. Yoga teaches us to remove these deep roots through practice, so we can shape a better life with fewer negative outcomes, leading to more peace and happiness.
Tehlada paritapafalav punya punya hetutvat.
This verse explains how the outcomes of our actions depend on whether those actions are good or bad. Here's what it means: pleasure or pain. Actions can lead to either happiness, that is pleasure, or suffering, that is pain. Good or bad deeds. Good actions or punya usually brings happiness, while bad actions or apunya leads to suffering. Yoga teaches us to be mindful of our actions, encouraging good deeds that lead to positive results, helping us live a happier and more peaceful life.
परिणामतापसंस्कार दुःखैर्गुणवृत्तिविरोधाच्च दुःखमेव सर्वं विवेकिनः.
This verse explains that for those who see clearly, life can seem full of challenges. Change, the pain that comes from things changing, anxiety, the suffering caused by worry and stress, past impressions, old memories and experiences that affect us, conflict in nature, the natural forces that often oppose each other. Yoga helps us understand these sources of pain and teaches us how to rise above them, leading to a life with more peace and less suffering.
Heyam dukkhamanagatam.
This verse teaches us that future sufferings can be prevented. Here's what it means. Future suffering, pain or difficulties that haven't happened yet, can be avoided. Through proper actions and understanding, we can stop this suffering from occurring. Yoga provides us with tools like mindfulness and right action to prevent future pain, helping us lead a more peaceful and joyful life.
Drashtru-drishyayo samyogo heya hetu.
This verse explains the root cause of suffering. The seer is our true self, the one who observes. The seen refers to everything we experience, like thoughts, emotions, and the world around us. Identification is the suffering happens when we confuse our true self with what we experience. Yoga helps us separate our true self from the things we see and experience, reducing suffering and leading to a clearer understanding of who we are.
Prakashakriya-sthiti-sheelam bhutendriyatmakam bhogapavargartham drishyam.
This verse describes the nature of everything we experience. The three gunas or the qualities that everything in the world is made of. Light and knowledge, that's the brightness. Movement and energy is the activity. And stability or resistance is inertia. Everything we perceive is made of the five elements and is experienced through our senses. The purpose of what we see and experience is to provide us with lessons or experience and ultimately to help us reach freedom from suffering, that is liberation. Yoga helps us understand and rise above these qualities, guiding us towards inner freedom and peace.
Vishesha visheshalingamaatra lingani gunaparvani.
This verse describes the different levels or stages of the three qualities or the gunas that make up everything in the universe. Here's what it means. Specific are the things we can see and identify clearly. Non-specific are the things that are less clear or more subtle. Indicated only are the signs or clues that suggest something exists, even if we can't see it directly. Unmanifest is the most subtle state, where nothing is visible or formed yet. Yoga helps us understand these levels of reality so that we can see the world more clearly and live with greater awareness and balance.
Drashta drishimatra shuddhopi pratyyanupashyah.
This verse explains the nature of the true self or the seer. Here's what it means. The seer is our true self, pure and unchanging, not influenced by anything. Pure consciousness. The seer is simply aware, without being affected by thoughts or emotions. Sees through the mind. Even though the seer is pure, it perceives the world through the mind and its thoughts. Yoga helps us recognize that our true self is beyond the mind's activity, guiding us to a state of peace and clarity by not identifying with the mind's ever.
Tadartha eva drishyasya-atma.
This verse explains the purpose of everything we experience. Here's what it means. The seen refers to everything we encounter in life, objects, thoughts, emotions, and experiences. Exists for the seer. All these experiences exist to serve the true self or the seer, helping to learn and grow. Yoga teaches us that the world and our experience are here to help us understand our true self better. By realizing this, we can use our experiences wisely, leading to greater inner peace and self-awareness.
Kritartham prati nashtamapyanashtam tadanyasadharanatvat.
This verse explains what happens to the world and our experiences when someone attains liberation. Here's what it means: ceases to be. For someone who has reached enlightenment, the things they used to see and experience no longer have power over them. Remains for others. However, those who have not yet reached liberation still experience the world as usual because it is common to all. Yoga teaches us that once we reach true understanding, the world's challenges no longer affect us in the same way, even though they still exist for others. This helps us live with greater peace and freedom.
Swaswami shaktyo swarupopalabdhihetu samyogaha.
This verse explains the purpose of the connection between the seer, that is our true self, and the seen, that is the world and our experiences. Here's what it means: union of seer and seen. Our true self, that's the seer, interacts with the world, that is seen. Recognition of true nature. This interaction helps us understand the true nature of both ourselves and the world. Yoga teaches that by understanding this relationship, we can realize our true nature, which leads to self-awareness and inner peace. The world and our experiences serve as a mirror to help us see and understand who we truly are.
Tasya heturavidya.
This verse explains why we mistakenly identify with the world and our experiences. Here's what it means: union of seer and seen. We often confuse our true self, that's the seer, with the things we experience, that the seen. Cause is ignorance. This confusion happens because of ignorance or avidya, which means not understanding our true nature. Yoga teaches us that overcoming ignorance through knowledge and practice helps us see our true self clearly, freeing us from unnecessary suffering and leading us to a more peaceful life.
Tadabhavat samyoga bhavo hanam tadrishyah kaivalyam.
This verse explains how we can achieve liberation by removing ignorance. Here's what it means: ignorance removed. When we get rid of ignorance or avidya, we stop confusing our true self with the things we experience. Union ceases. This means the mistaken union between the seer, that is our true self, and the seen, that is the world, disappears. Liberation. With this clarity, we achieve liberation or kaivalya, which is a state of complete freedom and peace. Yoga guides us to remove ignorance through knowledge and practice, helping us to see our true nature and attain a life of inner peace and ultimate freedom.
Viveka khyatira viplava hanopayah.
This verse explains the key to achieving freedom from suffering. Here's what it means: discernment. This means the ability to see things clearly and distinguish between what is real, that is our true self, and what is not, that is the external world and experiences. Unwavering is our understanding, must be steady and consistent, without any doubt or confusion. Means of liberation is by practicing this clear understanding or discernment, we can free ourselves from ignorance and the suffering it causes. Yoga teaches us to develop this unwavering discernment, which leads us to true knowledge and ultimately to a life of peace and liberation.
Tasya saptadha prantabhumif pragya.
This verse talks about the growth of wisdom on the path to liberation. Here's what it means: wisdom refers to deep understanding or insight gained through spiritual practice. 7 stages. This wisdom doesn't come all at once. It grows step by step, passing through 7 stages as one advances in spiritual practice. Progress. As we move through these stages, our understanding deepens, bringing us closer to complete liberation and peace. Yoga guides us through these stages of wisdom, helping us grow and progress until we reach the ultimate goal of enlightenment.
Yoganganushthanadashuddhikshaye jnanadiptira विवेकख्यातेः.
This verse explains how practicing yoga can lead to wisdom and clarity. Here's what it means. Practice of yoga. By following the steps or limbs of yoga, like meditation, self-discipline, and ethical behavior. Destruction of impurities. We clear away impurities such as ignorance, negative emotions, and unhealthy habits. Light of knowledge. As these impurities are removed, our mind becomes clear and the light of knowledge shines through. Discernment. This clear understanding helps us distinguish between what is real, that is our true self, and what is not, leading to greater wisdom. Yoga is a powerful tool for cleansing the mind and body, helping us achieve clarity and wisdom, and guiding us towards a peaceful, discerning life.
यमनियमासन प्राणायाम प्रत्याहार धारणा ध्यान समाधयोष्टावङ्गानि.
This verse introduces the Eightfold Path of Yoga, which are steps to achieve spiritual growth. Here's what each limb means. Yama are the moral guidelines like non-violence and truthfulness. Niyama, positive duties or observances like cleanliness and contentment. Asana, physical postures that prepare the body for meditation. Pranayam, control of the breath which helps calm the mind. Pratyahara, withdrawal of the senses from external objects, focusing inward. Dharana, concentration on a single point or idea. Dhyana, deep meditation where the mind is fully focused. Samadhi, a state of complete absorption or enlightenment. These 8 limbs work together to guide us towards a balanced, peaceful and enlightened life.
Ahimsa satyasteya brahmacharya parigraha yamaha.
This verse lists the 5 yamas, which are ethical guidelines for living a virtuous life. Here's what each one means. Ahimsa or non-violence, being kind and not causing harm to others in thoughts, words or actions. Satya, that is truthfulness, always speaking the truth and being honest in your actions. Asteya, non-stealing, not taking what doesn't belong to you, including material things, ideas or time. Brahmacharya or celibacy or self-control, using your energy wisely and practicing self-discipline, especially in relation to desires. Aparigraha or non-possessiveness, not being greedy or overly attached to things, and living
Jati desha kala samayanavachinna sarvabhauma mahavratam.
This verse emphasizes that the yamas or the ethical guidelines are universal principles. Here's what it means. Universal vows. The yamas apply to everyone, regardless of who they are, where they are, when it is, or the situation. Not limited. These guidelines are not bound by any specific conditions and should be followed by everyone at all times. Great vows. Because of their universal nature, the yamas are considered great vows or the mahavratam that guide our actions throughout life. Yoga teaches that these ethical principles are important for everyone, everywhere, and at all times, helping us live in harmony with others and ourselves.
Shaucha santosha tapasvadhyaya Ishvarapranidhanani niyamaha.
This verse lists the 5 niyamas, which are personal practices that help guide our behavior and mindset. Here's what each one means. Saucha or cleanliness, keeping both our body and mind clean, free from clutter and negativity. Santosha or contentment, being satisfied with what we have and finding peace in the present moment. Tapa or discipline, practicing self-discipline and perseverance in our spiritual and daily practices. Svadhyaya or self-study, studying sacred texts and reflecting on ourselves to gain deeper understanding. Ishvarapranidhana or surrender to God, trusting in a higher power and dedicating our actions to a greater purpose. These niyamas help us cultivate inner peace, discipline and a deeper connection to our true self, forming an essential part of the path to spiritual growth in yoga.
Vitarka badhane pratipaksha bhavanam.
This verse offers a practical tool for dealing with negative thoughts and emotions. Here's what it means. Negative thoughts or vitarka. When harmful or troubling thoughts arise in the mind, like anger, jealousy or fear, cultivate the opposite or pratipaksha bhavanam. Instead of letting these negative thoughts take over, we should focus on their positive opposites. like thinking of kindness when feeling angry or compassion when feeling jealous. Yoga teaches that by consciously replacing negative thoughts with positive ones, we can create a more peaceful and balanced state of mind, leading to better emotional well being and spiritual growth.
वितर्का हिंसादयः कृतकारितानुमोदिता लोभक्रोधमोहपूर्वका मृदुमध्याधिमात्रा दुःखा ज्ञानानन्तफला इति प्रतिपक्षभावनम्. This verse emphasizes the need to counter negative thoughts. Negative thoughts arise from greed, anger, or confusion. These thoughts lead to suffering, whether mild, moderate, or intense. To overcome this, we should replace negative thoughts with positive and opposite ones. Yoga teaches that changing harmful thinking patterns with positive ones leads to inner peace and reduces suffering. Ahimsa pratisthayam tatsannidhau vairattyagaha. This verse highlights the power of practicing non-violence or ahimsa. Here's what it means. Non-violence or ahimsa, when someone practices this consistently, they avoid causing harm in thought, word, or action. Firmly established, when this practice becomes a solid part of who they are, deeply ingrained in their behavior and mindset, hostility ceases. The presence of such a person naturally calms others, reducing feelings of anger, hatred, or violence around them. Yoga teaches that by embodying non-violence, we not only bring peace to ourselves but also positively influence the environment and people around us, creating a ripple effect of harmony and goodwill. Satyapratisthayam kriyafalashrayatvam. This verse emphasizes the importance of truthfulness or satya and its profound impact. Here's what it means. Truthfulness or satya. When a person consistently practices truthfulness, speaking only what is true and honest, firmly established, when truthfulness becomes a natural part of who they are, guiding their thoughts, words, and actions, power of words. In such a person, their words gain great power and reliability, leading to actions that produce consistent and expected results. Yoga teaches that truthfulness is not just about honesty, but also about integrity. When we are truthful in all aspects of life, our actions align with our words, creating trust and dependability in everything we do. Asteya pratisthayam sarvaratnopasthanam. This verse highlights the benefit of practicing non-stealing or asteya. Here's what it means. Non-stealing or asteya, when a person avoids taking anything that doesn't belong to them, including material items, ideas, or time. Firmly established, when this practice becomes a deep part of their character, influencing all their actions, attraction of wealth. As a result of this integrity, they naturally attract abundance and wealth, both materially and spiritually. Yoga teaches that by living honestly and respecting others' positions, we create an environment where trust and prosperity flourish, leading to a life of abundance and fulfillment. Brahmacharya pratisthayam viryalabhaha. This verse explains the benefit of practicing celibacy or self-control, that is brahmacharya. Here's what it means. Celibacy or brahmacharya refers to controlling one's physical and mental energy, especially in relation to desires and passions. Firmly established, then the self-control becomes a strong and natural part of someone's life. Energy gain or virya labha. As a result, they gain great strength, vitality, and focus, which can be used for personal growth and spiritual progress. Yoga teaches that by practicing brahmacharya, we conserve our energy and channel it towards higher purposes, leading to increased vitality and inner strength. Aparigrahasthairye janma kathanta sambodhaha. This verse highlights the deep insights gained through practicing non-possessiveness, that is aparigraha. Here's what it means. Non-possessiveness, aparigraha, means not being attached to material possessions or greed, living simply and without excess. firmly established. When this detachment becomes a solid part of one's life and mindset, knowledge of lives. As a result, person gains deep understanding and insights into the nature of their past and future lives, helping them understand their life's purpose and journey. Yoga teaches that by letting go of attachment to material things, we free our minds and open ourselves to deeper wisdom and spiritual knowledge, leading to a greater understanding of our true self and life's purpose. Shauchat swanga jugupsa paraira samsargaha. This verse explains the effects of practicing cleanliness or shaucha. Here's what it means. Cleanliness or shaucha refers to keeping both the body and mind pure and clean. Distaste for the body. As one becomes more clean and pure, they may start to see the body as just a temporary vessel, leading to a natural detachment from its desires and urges. Detachment from others. This purity also leads to less attachment to the physical presence of others, helping one focus on their inner spiritual journey. Yoga teaches that cleanliness is not just about physical hygiene but also about cultivating purity of mind and spirit. By practicing shaucha, we develop a more sattva shuddhi saumanasyaikagrendriya jayatma darshana yogyattvani cha. This verse describes the benefit of mental purity. When the mind is clean and pure, free from negativity and distractions, a pure mind leads to a joyful and positive attitude. Purity helps one concentrate better and stay focused. With a pure mind, controlling the senses becomes easier, leading to greater self-control. Ultimately, purity prepares the mind for deeper spiritual experiences and understanding of the true self. Yoga teaches that mental purity is essential for achieving inner peace, strong focus, and the ultimate goal of self-realization. By cultivating a pure mind, we become more cheerful, focused, and ready to discover our true nature. Santoshadanuttamasukalabhaha. This verse emphasizes the power of contentment or santosha. Here's what it means. Contentment or santosha is being satisfied with what you have and not constantly desiring more. Unsurpassed happiness is when you practice contentment. You experience a deep, unmatched happiness that doesn't rely on external things. Inner peace. Contentment brings a sense of inner peace and joy that is steady and long lasting. Yoga teaches that by cultivating contentment, we free ourselves from the endless cycle of wanting more and more. This inner satisfaction leads to a profound happiness that is not dependent on external circumstances, making life more joyful and peaceful. Kayendriya siddhira shuddhi kshayat tapasaha. This verse highlights the benefits of practicing discipline or tapas. Here's what it means. Discipline or tapas refers to self-discipline and enduring challenges to purify oneself. Destruction of impurities. Through discipline, both physical and mental impurities are eliminated. Perfection of body and senses. As a result, the body and senses become stronger, more refined, and capable of performing at their best. Yoga teaches that through consistent self-discipline, we cleanse our body and mind of impurities, leading to enhanced physical abilities and sharper senses. This purification helps us achieve greater control over our bodies and deeper awareness of our surroundings. Svadhyaya devata samprayogaha. This verse explains the power of self-study or Svadhyaya. Here's what it means. Self-study or Svadhyaya refers to studying sacred texts, reflecting on oneself, and engaging in spiritual practices. Chosen deity or Ishtadevata. It could be any deity or higher power that one feels a connection with. Union. By regularly practicing self-study, a person deepens their spiritual connection and may experience a closer relationships with their chosen deity. Yoga teaches that by dedicating time to self-study, we not only gain knowledge but also develop a deeper spiritual connection. This connection can bring a sense of guidance, support, and fulfillment on the spiritual path. Samadhi Ishvarapranidhanat. This verse explains the importance of surrendering to a higher power or Ishvarapranidhana. Here's what it means. Surrender to God or Ishvarapranidhana. This means dedicating one's actions, thoughts and life to a higher power or God, trusting in divine guidance. Perfection of meditation or Samadhi Siddhi. Through this surrender, one can achieve a deep, focused state of meditation where the mind becomes completely still and peaceful. Spiritual growth. This practice helps in letting go of ego and control, allowing a person to experience a deeper connection with the divine. Yoga teaches that by surrendering to a higher power, we can attain deeper levels of meditation and spiritual insight, leading to a state of peace and unity with the divine. Sthira Sukhamasana. This verse defines the ideal yoga posture or asana. Here's what it means: steady or sthira. The posture should be stable and firm, providing a strong foundation. Comfortable or sukham. At the same time, the posture should be relaxed and comfortable, allowing the body to be at ease. Balance. Yoga postures are not just about physical alignment but also about finding a balance between effort and relaxation. Yoga teaches that when a posture is both steady and comfortable, it creates a perfect environment for meditation and deeper spiritual practices. This balance helps in achieving both physical and mental calmness, which is essential for progressing in yoga. Prayatnashaitilyanantasamapatibhyam. This verse explains how to perfect a yoga posture or asana. Here's what it means: relaxing effort or prayatna shaithilya. Instead of forcing the body into a posture, one should gently ease into it, allowing the body to find its natural position without strain. Meditating on the infinite, ananta samapatti. While in the posture, focusing the mind on the limitless, such as the concept of infinity or the vast, open space, helps to deepen the practice. Perfecting the posture. By combining relaxation and a focused mind, the posture becomes stable and comfortable, leading to a state of inner calm. Yoga teaches that when we let go of effort and focus on the vastness of the mind, we can achieve a state of ease and steadiness in our postures, allowing for a more profound and peaceful practice. Tato dvandvanabhighatah. This verse explains the benefit of mastering a yoga posture or asana. Here's what it means: dualities or dvandva. These are the pairs of opposites we experience in life, like hot and cold, pleasure and pain, or success and failure. No disturbance or anabhighatah. When the body and mind are steady and calm, these opposites no longer cause discomfort or distraction. Inner balance. Mastering posture helps in maintaining peace and balance, no matter the external conditions. Yoga teaches that by perfecting our physical posture and calming the mind, we can rise above the distractions and disturbances of life's opposites. This leads to a state of inner stability and tranquility. Tasmin sati shvasa prashvasayorgati vichedaf pranayamah. This verse introduces the practice of pranayam or breath control. Here's what it means: preparation or tasmin sati. After mastering posture or asana, the next step in yoga practice is to control the breath. Breath control or pranayam. Pranayam is the practice of regulating the breath by controlling the flow of inhalation, that is shvasa, and exhalation, that is prashvasa. Calmness. By managing the breath, one can calm the mind and prepare for deeper meditation. Yoga teaches that controlling the breath is a vital step after achieving a steady posture. Pranayam helps in calming the mind, improving concentration, and preparing for more advanced stages of meditation and spiritual practice. Bahyabhyantarastambha vrittirdesha kala sankhyaami paridrishto dirgha sukshmaha. This verse describes the detailed practice of pranayam or breath control. Here's what it means: breath movements. Pranayam involves 3 types of breath control. External or bahya is exhaling the breath out. Internal or abhyantara, inhaling the breath in. Restrained or stamba, holding the breath, either after inhalation or exhalation. Observation. The practice should be done with attention to place, that is desha, duration, that is kala, and number, that is sankhya, meaning how long and how many times you breathe, subtle and prolonged. Over time, the breath becomes more refined, slow, and smooth. Yoga teaches that by carefully regulating the breath with attention to detail, one can gain deeper control over the body and mind, leading to greater focus and tranquility. Thank you.
बाह्याभ्यन्तरविषयाक्षेपी चतुर्थः.
This verse introduces a higher stage of pranayama. Here's what it means. Beyond inhalation and exhalation, this advanced pranayama goes beyond regular breathing of inhalation and exhalation and breath retention, the fourth stage. This is called the fourth type of pranayama, which transcends the normal physical breath, leading to a state where the breath becomes effortless and natural. Deep meditation. This stage of breath control helps the mind reach deeper levels of meditation and spiritual awareness. Yoga teaches that mastering this fourth type of pranayama helps in quietening the mind completely, moving beyond the physical control of breath to a more subtle, profound state of inner peace and stillness.
तथ क्षीयते प्रकाशावरणम्.
This verse explains the result of practicing pranayama or breath control. Here's what it means. Covering of light. The light refers to the inner light of awareness or wisdom, which is often hidden by distractions and impurities. Destroyed or kshiyate. Through pranayama, these distractions are reduced or removed, allowing the inner light to shine more clearly. Clarity of mind. As the impurities are cleared away, the mind becomes more focused and aware, leading to greater clarity and understanding. Yoga teaches that by mastering breath control, the obstacles that cloud our inner awareness are removed, revealing the true nature of self and leading to a deeper sense of clarity and peace.
धारणासु च योग्यता मनसः.
This verse explains the benefit of pranayama or breath control for the mind. Here's what it means. Mind's fitness. Through consistent practice of pranayama, the mind becomes prepared and capable of focusing. Concentration or dharana. The mind is better able to concentrate on a single point or object, which is essential for deeper stages of meditation. Mental readiness. Pranayama helps in calming and stabilizing the mind, making it ready for higher practices like dharana, where sustained focus is required. Yoga teaches that by practicing breath control, the mind becomes calm, steady, and ready for deeper concentration, leading to a more profound, effective meditation practice.
स्वविषया संप्रयोगे चित्तस्वरूपानुकार इवेन्द्रियाणां प्रत्याहारः.
This verse describes the concept of Pratyahara, the fifth limb of yoga. Here's what it means. Sense withdrawal. Pratyahara is the process of withdrawing the senses from their usual distractions like sights and sounds, so they no longer pull the mind outward. Imitating the mind. The senses start to align with the mind's inward focus, helping the mind stay calm and centered. Inner focus. This practice allows the practitioner to turn attention inward, setting the stage for deeper meditation. Yoga teaches that Pratyahara is an essential step in moving away from external distractions and developing a deeper, more focused inner awareness. It helps in gaining control over the senses, leading to greater peace and concentration.
ततः परमावश्यतेन्द्रियाणाम्.
This verse explains the result of practicing Pratyahara or the sense withdrawal. Here's what it means. Complete control. After effectively practicing Pratyahara, the senses are fully under control. Inner focus. The senses no longer distract the mind with external stimuli, allowing for deeper concentration and meditation. Peace and mastery. This control leads to greater inner peace and mastery over the mind and senses. Yoga teaches that mastering Pratyahara results in full concentration or control over the senses, helping you focus inwardly and achieve a state of calm and concentration. Thank you.